All right, we're gonna do a Gekishin Squadra video, and of course we're doing it in the same style we do our Dokkan Battle content videos. We're gonna look at units individually and how they all kind of group together into one category. So the first one we're gonna look at is the most annoying characters in Gekishin Squadra. We're starting with very good positivity. No, I'm joking. It's not necessarily like these units are bad, they're good. It's just more so, you know, when you're running into these characters that could cause some disturbance or annoyance when you play against these characters. And I feel like a lot of people can share the pain with these players, and it doesn't mean if you use these guys you're like toxic or whatever. It's just they have mechanics that make them annoying when you're playing because they can interrupt flow, and that's a really good strategic advantage for them. And the first one, as you can see on screen, is Krillin. Now the good thing about Krillin is he's a technical character, so he already gets speed due to the fact that he's a technical character. But the great thing about him, which makes him very annoying, is his solar flare technique. His solar flare technique is more broken than I've ever seen solar flare be before, right? Because the thing was with solar flare, like you use it in games, like let's use Budokai Tenkaichi or Sparking Zero for example, right? Like you could get solar flared and you get unlocked off the player, right? And your screen goes white for a little bit and you can't see, but it's not nearly as bad as something like, I don't know, your screen is like, it's not like you can't see anything. It's just more so like you can't do anything. Like the characters leave off your screen, and then you're just kind of like you could be hitting a mid combo, right? Like you're doing all this damage and you're doing all this damage and you're about to kill the Krillin, and then he blinds you and you can't see anything. All of a sudden you just see your health bar just start going down and down and down and down and down, which is a very good strategical advantage for Krillin. But as a player fighting against Krillin, it's very annoying because of the ability he has for that. And again, he can escape fairly easily due to how fast technical characters are. He also has like ranged abilities, right? He has his ability where he does the scatter energy shot, can place that and get some nice damage there as well. His destructive disc is very nasty. I mean, that thing can pretty much one-shot you if you are not careful. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. He also applies mark to enemies, which will immediately lower their cooldown on their skills. So like if you're in that area, you can do your abilities so much faster, which you know what that means? You can keep spamming solar flare, just keep spamming it and spamming it and spamming it and spamming it. And not only that, it also does it applies attack down, by the way. On the solar flare, you do less damage once you get hit by the solar flare. So it's pretty crazy. This unit, I mean, again, it's something Krillin needs because there's not really a way Krillin could be competitive without his solar flare, but and even on the website it says here, craft a hero who blinds foes with solar flare and catches them off guard with hidden energy mines. He's meant to be a character that uses gimmicks to win, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just annoying when you're playing it because you have to play Krillin differently than most people that you fight, because you get to worry about his energy mines, you get to worry about his solar flare, and all of these things allow Krillin to be a very dangerous character in this game. All right, let's talk about Android 17. Now, I've never used Android 17 myself, so when I'm looking at some of this, like I'm using the Gekishin Squadra website to help me get a better understanding of how these characters work. But I definitely played against them, so I can definitely tell you he's annoying, because there are times when you're about to kill this guy. Oh, Android 17's about to die, I can't wait. And this man just starts zooming. And look, I get it, right? Yeah, he's a technical character, he's fast, but it's more than that. See, what helps him out, he has two abilities that help him escape very easily. His first one is his Android Barrier. What it does, it forms a barrier around you and your ally heroes, allows them to get extra HP. First of all, helps heal yourself. Second of all, you apply movement speed up if you reactivate it with his infinite energy reactor. Right? I don't know how you do that. I just know that he can do that, which allows him to basically redo the skill over again and basically refreshes that up very quickly. Then he has an ability called the Barrier Knuckle. What that does is it just rushes forward and it just hits them. It's nothing crazy, right? But once it hits the opponent, it gains movement speed down onto the enemy. So not only are you incredibly fast, they are incredibly slow, and it allows you to play from afar the entire game, especially because his rush attack is Ki Blast. So it just allows them to do that. I just read something very cool. I didn't realize that's the case. That's so cool. He has his rush attack interrupts transformations, which is the only attack that I believe does that in the game. But the reason why that's pretty unique is because if you watch Dragon Ball Super, you know, like when they're about to transform, the Universe 2 girl's about to transform, he attacks them, and he's like, wow, I'm just gonna let him transform. So I haven't used everybody in the game yet. It's because I haven't unlocked everybody in the game yet, but that's such a cool detail. I'm just kind of figuring it out as we go here. that it interrupts the transformation. That's such a cool like little touch there. But yeah, I mean, there is a lot of things that 17 does. Of course, the healing, the barriers, and his ultimate allows him to again protect him and his allies, gaining extra HP for them, and of course it applies the no healing EX to enemies, and of course it does damage to them as well. But more so his barriers, his healing, his movement speed, his range projectiles, and the ability to interrupt in transformation allows this unit to be a very strong technical character, but don't get me wrong, also very annoying. All right, next we have Majin Buu Good. Now the reason why he's on this list is really because of one ability alone, and that is going to be his bubble gum. His strangle gum, as it calls it, is very annoying. His healing's all right. It's not that big of a deal. He also moves pretty fast. Not really, but he has some mobility. In comparison to 17, of course, 17 has way more mobility. But as I'm starting to realize, I think I just hate technical characters altogether, because I mean, I don't care for Gohan either. Frieza's fine, but Hit's fine too. But the Gohan I don't care for either, but he's not gonna be on this list. But the gum is very annoying because you could just be doing stuff, you're trying to chase someone down and they hit you with the bubble gum and you just can't move, and it prevents you from doing that. And I think the biggest thing in this game that is important is the ability to escape, right? You're gonna get into a fight, right? You're gonna get into an area, you might get 2v1s, right? Or maybe you're winning a certain chase down and you're just trying to finish the job, and then Boo, you know, hits you with gum and you can't move. Or you're trying to chase someone down, they're just faster than you and you can't get to them. I think those are the things that I find the most annoying in this game. And it doesn't mean that it's necessarily an annoying thing for everybody. It doesn't necessarily mean that like it makes the character toxic or anything. I don't think any of these characters are toxic. I think this game is very well balanced and has a very unique usage for every character, and it kind of fits the actual character of the character as well, which I think is very well done as well. But I mean, this Boo is really his main ability, right, is disruption, right? You know, hit them with a gum and then transform them into candy, right? Like, he has a lot of things to help disrupt the fight. Even though his damage isn't high, he provides a lot of support to enemies, allows or to their allies, I guess, or to your allies if you're using Boo. Heals them up, you know, gets them turns the opponents to candy so that they can get health up there as well. And then, of course, using gum in order to help slow down enemies so they don't finish people off. Boo's basically whole job is to hinder the other team. Yes, Boo can do damage and Boo can KO people, of course, but I mean, his main job is to hinder people from killing your main people, or maybe they're on a god of destruction, you know, he uses the strangle gum to get them off there or whatever. It just, his disruption is very annoying, but that's also the whole purpose of this character. So yes, of course he's on this list, but I mean, it doesn't mean Boo is hard to fight against at times. It's just annoying because you can get stuck in some gum and you're just trying to finish a job. Of course, this list is going to grow the more time it has, you know, advances. We don't have many characters in the game right now. In fact, let's count the heroes before we get into this final character. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 22 characters. That's a decent sized roster, nothing crazy, but there are 22 characters, and there's going to be more as we go on here, of course. But I think the main thing we have to consider, right, is the fact that, you know, we're not going to have a ton of characters right now, right? We're not going to have a ton of characters that are going to be annoying yet. We're not gonna have giant lists of the most broken damage dealers or tanks or technical characters, because we just don't have that many characters to sort out right now, and that's okay. We're still gonna talk about them. This is the initial release, so we're just gonna kind of go through characters, get an idea and feel of everyone is. I mean, a lot of people in consensus could agree that Krillin's annoying, and probably even, I mean, I've already heard people talking about Boo's annoying too, and 17, you know, probably as well. But Vegeta is my final one here, and it's really interesting because Vegeta's annoying in a different way, right? I don't think Vegeta himself is that bad. I think he's very tanky, don't get me wrong, and I feel like I can attack him for hours before he even takes damage. So he's a very tanky unit, or character, whatever you want to call him. But I think the thing that is really annoying about him is more so the fact of what he does with his was it photon bomber? Is that the one that, yes, his photon bomber. That's his second skill, right? Is that what his skill? Yeah, his skill, I guess. That isn't. Yeah, his second skill. Essentially, it's that purple orb he throws down, right? If you guys play the game, he throws down a purple orb and it sucks the opponents in. That's very annoying because you're trying to escape, right? You're trying to fight someone else, and he draws you in with this photon bomber, and then of course he can hit you with this ki blast barrage, or he can hit you with a big bang attack right in the center, and that can cause some problems, right? Like that will do some damage to you for certain. And I think that's the reason why I think is the hardest way to deal with him. He's already tanky, and you're trying to escape because you've been fighting him for so long and you're losing the fight. Just kidding. He throws down photon bomber, you get sucked in, and now you're stuck. He also has an explosive wave, which is not really annoying, but it's just, again, it's just kind of one of those abilities that helps him escape, right? Because not only does he have the ability to suck you in and cause you to die when you're running away, he has the ability to run away himself with his explosive wave, which allows him to be very strong as well. Nothing much more to that outside of that, I will say. I think this unit overall is fairly balanced, but I do think that his draw-in ability with his photon bomber, along with his explosive wave, allows him to be a great beginner character to use 100%, but is also very annoying to use. Or sorry, to play against. But yeah, I mean, it'll be pretty interesting to see what heroes we get in the future. I know that we have characters that are vast and, you know, just have different uses and have different difficulty sliders. Of course, Goku and Vegeta are like the most simple characters used in this game, and they're very strong. But we have units like Hit, who, you know, kind of sucks, but if done correctly, can look very well. Like if you use Hit correctly, he's really cool to use, but he's one of the harder characters to use in this game. And he's also one of the hardest characters to use in the game. It's just, I've tried to use him, man. I can't do it. He doesn't fit my play style, but he's very good against the God of Destruction, I will say. I just talk about Hit for a second, but because I think Hit, his damage is not high. He could not take damage to save his life, but he has great mobility. He's very fast, and the cool thing about him is when he's hiding in the shadows with his little time skip ability. Like I almost won a game. I lost because the whole team was there. But I mean, I could escape. Like I could leave. Like they could try to combo me. I would teleport out, and then I would come back in and try to get another Gekishin burst on the God of Destruction. He can come in huge clutch situations with that time skip ability, but he definitely can struggle early on. You want high level advantages with this guy. But again, he's not an annoying character at all. I just thought I'd bring him up, just more so talking about the game in general, since I haven't done much of that on the channel so far. But this is my first Gekishin Squadra video, and there'll be plenty more in the future, of course, if support remains on it. But I really do enjoy the game, and I really do want to cover content on this game, so we'll continue to do that along with Dokkan Battle. Since Dokkan Battle is going to be in a dry period for a bit, we'll kind of run through the two, but once we're in main celebrations, it's mostly going to be Dokkan Battle, and when Gekishin Squadra is in its first anniversary, maybe we'll do mainly Gekishin Squadra. It just depends on what the fan base wants and what they think about the new game, and will that grow as we go on? We will see. But let you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys enjoy this kind of content, and did you guys agree with the characters that are on this list? Let me know in the comments below. The first link is to all of my Dokkan Battle content videos in general, since we haven't got Gekishin Squadra videos yet. But if you guys want to just view my Dokkan Battle content, it's there right there. And my second link is to my G Fuel link in the description. That is going to be a 20% discount to all G Fuel products. If you guys are looking for G Fuel products, feel free to use LR24 on your next order, and it will give me a commission. Of course, you will support the channel by providing an order of that, and I will get you a 20% discount. So seems like a fair trade to me. But let you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.